Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, Steven Johnson, and our second segment, Steve, we're gonna talk a little bit about this upcoming fight next week that everyone's been talking about for some time now, and kind of getting excited. So am I. I'm going to admit I'm getting excited about this fight and just really can't wait. And we're talking about High Tech versus El Chacal. Okay, the Jackal. Okay. So let me tell you, I'll let you go ahead and introduce them. I'll let you introduce High Tech, and I'll let you introduce El Chacal. Okay.
Well,
tell us a little bit, because this is
excited.
This is a fight.
This is one he wasn't excited about a couple months ago, fellas. But you saw he's excited. But first, before that, let me give you a rundown for this weekend. Let me take a hot second.
Okay.
On Friday night on Fox Sports, in a fight that's should be interesting, Ahmed El Bialy is taking on Jean Pascal. Now you remember El Bialy is an upcoming prospect, highly touted, 16-0, 13 KOs, but he's from Egypt. He's fighting down now out of Miami. Should be interesting, but the fight that I was looking for...
He's fighting who?
Jean Pascal.
He's still fighting?
That's called...
Are they still trying to move him?
Well, you got to remember that. Pascal is still considered to be a threat, so if he wins this fight, he's back in the mix at 175. Nonsense. But anyway, with the original fight that was going to be exciting to me was Jean Pascal was fighting Edwin Rodriguez, and that fight was canceled. So anyway, they're continuing with that card. Move on to Saturday night. Besides Lomachenko and Rigondeaux, you got a fight that'll be streamed on Showtime. So you'll have to have your YouTube ready to go for that. But James DeGale taking on Caleb Truax, and Lee Selby taking on Eduardo Ramirez. Now, I'm a fan of James.
That should be a good fight.
But let me tell you this. I'm telling you right now, look for the upset here. I'm taking Eduardo Ramirez to knock off Lee Selby. And that's just because Lee Selby has been begging for fights for so long, and I think he's primed to be upset. I'm going to take Ramirez in that fight. Okay, let's get to it.
Okay.
ESPN, next Saturday night, December the 9th, at the theater, Madison Square Garden.
The side entrance, the back entrance.
He continues on with that, man. But anyway, Vasyl Lomachenko and Rigondeaux, Christopher Diaz versus Casey Ramos. I'm not even worried about that. Everyone's been looking forward to this fight. I can tell you, originally when the fight was announced, I was excited about it because everyone was saying, there's no way that Rigondeaux will be able to stand up to Lomachenko because he's bigger, he's younger, he's stronger. But I've long been a fan of Rigondeaux when he first in 2007, when they were in that tournament in Brazil, and he defected, and came in. I just thought that he's the real deal, and I'm hoping that this comes out to be the case on Saturday. But it's going to be a fight, Radio, and you're probably going to disagree with me, and that's good. You guys know that's good if he disagrees. I'm excited about this fight because these are guys that are two-time Olympic gold medalists, two-time amateur world champions. In 904 fights, the two of them lost something like 14 fights out of 900 amateur. Two of those belong to Lomachenko. I mean, fantastic amateur careers, okay? But I'm looking forward to this fight because it's going to be two boxing technicians. For you people that say that you love the sweet science, here's two guys that they're not really, their pro careers have shown that they've got what it takes to knock out a guy. But this is going to pit two boxers, two pure boxers, and it can either be boring or it can either be what I think it should be taken care of, classified as watching two boxing technicians go at it. How it ends up, I don't know, but I will say this and then I'll give it to you. You take the age, that's in the favor of Lomachenko. Rigondeaux's 37, Lomachenko's 29. Okay, you take the height. Okay, Lomachenko's what, 5'6"?
Yep.
Rigondeaux's 5'4". But the reach, there's a 3-inch reach advantage in the favor of Rigondeaux. I think that's going to be the deciding factor in this fight between these two because I think regardless of the age and the height, I think Rigondeaux is the smarter of the two fighters. And to be honest, Lomachenko's been put in a position already where he has to win this fight. He can't lose.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. You're absolutely right. When they first announced this fight,
you said boring.
I wasn't excited. I really wasn't because I know the business. I know the business. And Top Rank doesn't put someone in there to beat their future marquee fighter. Okay, he's got and I'm talking about Lomachenko.
Right.
Okay. Lomachenko got a long way to become a marquee fighter. That's why he's fighting in the basement at the Madison Square Garden. Okay, he's basically fighting in the big Madison Square Garden storage room. Okay, so he not there yet.
Editor and Inside Boxing.
He's not there yet. But let me tell you, I wasn't excited. Okay, because Top Rank is a master at doing matching and bringing up their fighters. So I saw it as just another way of them bringing their fighter out. Okay, but as we started to look into the fight and we started to look at the background, sure they picked Guillermo because number one, he's short. Okay, in comparison, and he's older. Okay, he's in his 30s now. Okay. So they said, okay, this is the prime opportunity. Just kind of like they do their other fighters where they bring good names like Mauricio Herrera and these other guys to their guys because they know they got good names, but they're past their prime. Well, as you start dissecting this fight, you realize Guillermo's not past his prime. Okay? He's not past his prime. And naturally, they're making Guillermo come up 2 weight classes, which is another deficit. Okay? So put all these together, they stacked the fight toward their fighter, Lomachenko, so they can start making him move because Lomachenko has really shown some, and I'm not going to say weaknesses because there's no weaknesses in his attack, but mentally and heart, okay? And that showed a lot in his last fight. When he couldn't take complete command over his last fight, I forget who he fought, but he fought and he couldn't hurt him, he couldn't stop him, he couldn't take command.
Miguel Mariaga.
Yeah. He resulted to showboating, and that's a sign of weakness. So that's a sign that you can't accomplish what you went into the ring to do. And people that know the game know what I'm talking about. People that been in the ring know what I'm talking about when I say that. Okay, and it showed. So put all that together, Guillermo El Chacal, he can win this fight. He can win this fight. Okay. Now, naturally, he has to understand he got all the judges, all the referees, everybody against him. Okay, that's natural. But his talent and he's not anywhere near being on the level of being over his peak. Okay, so now I'm excited about the fight because, boy, he can come in and just make this a fight. You're not going to see a boring fight where you got two defensive fighters like if you would have ever saw Sugar Ray Leonard fight. I just had his name on the tip of my tongue.
What, in their prime?
Yeah, where they were both defensive.
Running Forest?
No defensive fighters. Where they.
I'm trying to think.
Terry Norris.
Okay.
Okay.
Terrible.
So that would have been a fight where for people that threw their sodas and stuff in the ring, I guarantee. But this one's not. Guys, this is going to be a good fight, okay? Even though the deck is stacked against Guillermo, don't take away that Cuban heart and that Cuban mentality, man. He's going to be there to fight. And like Steve mentioned, okay, he may be the shorter, but when it comes to reach, he's got a phenomenal reach. And this is a fighter that can use it.
Well, you know what? Also, I think I don't know if the deck is stacked so much against Rigondeaux because he's now living in Florida.
I'm talking business-wise.
Well, I'm just saying, he lives in Florida and fights in New York. That proximity, there's a lot of fans there. Lomachenko's the one coming from California.
Yeah, but I'm talking business-wise.
I got you.
Referees, officials,
I got
all
you.
that stuff.
Like you said,
Top rank.
That's
Yeah.
right. Top Rank there's a reason that they finally consented to this fight is because they want to make this the coming out party, if you want to call it that, for Lomachenko. Because if as he's promised, he said he's going to knock out Rigondeaux.
Yeah.
And if he knocks Rigondeaux out, hey man, I got to give it to him. I don't see that happening though. I really don't see it happening. But we'll be watching that fight, and next week we come back, we'll have a lot to say about that. One other fight, real quick. I mean, if it makes any difference to you, but the guy that gave Lomachenko his only loss, Orlando Salido's fighting Saturday on HBO. And if you want to watch that fight before you get a chance to watch Lomachenko and Rigondeaux, you can. But Orlando Salido's the only guy blemish that record of Lomachenko.
Well, yeah, that's true. And you know, another interesting factor for everybody out here, they're both southpaws.
Yes.
They're both southpaw.
Yes.
So you're not going to see the tripping and,
stepping on
the
feet
stepping, and
all
you're not
that.
going to see him fighting for position and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like you normally see when you see a conventional fighter fighting a southpaw fighter. Both these guys are southpaws, so it's like the real deal. I mean, stance is basically the same as a regular fight, just opposite.
Hey man, I'm looking forward to this fight. You remember I was excited about it in the beginning. I said I can't, and he laughed at me. I said, that's whatever.
I did.
Now I think most people realize that these guys are really probably the two best little guys they do. Rigondeaux's already said, win, lose or draw, he's going to drop back down to that bantamweight division
Where he should be.
and clean that out.
Where he should be.
He just said this is because everybody's saying how great Lomachenko is. He's going to show you how he's not that great. That's what I'm saying, man. That makes it exciting right there.
Give it to me, baby. Bring him. Let him show the world that he can beat a real fighter, because he hasn't fought any real fighters yet. Okay.
All right, you guys. You see, we're excited about that fight coming on. We'll be back next Saturday to recap that. And actually, I think next Saturday we might go ahead and radio, and because there's nothing else coming for the end of the year, we'll have talk about some of the best fights of the year and talk about the prospects for 2018. So,
You got it, baby.
having said that, Inside Boxing's Throwdown. Have a good weekend, and as usual, radio,